You are now listening to The Spearsy Spin with your host, Mike Spears.
The Turks are jerks. Hi, folks, and welcome to The Spearsy Spin, Friday, May 19th, 2017. Well, our story today is about the Turkish bodyguards attacking protesters at the Capitol. But first, we need to acknowledge the passing of Roger Ailes. Roger Ailes was the founder of Fox News, who turned it into an empire. Mr. Ailes was a powerful influence on modern politics, showing influence with his conservative Fox News. Just recently, Mr. Ailes left his position at Fox as the CEO because of sexual harassment allegations. The Spearsy Spin had covered the issues of sexual harassment with regard to Fox and Mr. Ailes, and based upon his deteriorating physical health, as well as some other interpersonal issues, we here at The Spin alluded to the sexual harassment allegations as unfounded. However, as we stated in the earlier show, we were not there with Megyn Kelly or others, nor was anyone else. So to say with 100% certainty that it didn't happen would be absurd. With regard to Roger Ailes, Bill O'Reilly, and the others at Fox accused of sexual harassment, there is no gold standard to measure the culpability of a person's guilt when in a he said, she said scenario. There appears to be a possible new twist, though, in the storm of sexual assault allegations being brought on Fox. And if true, there are some very high stakes involved for the accusers. It appears as though there may be confidential, anonymous sources who are quietly saying that Fox may have been the target of envious competitors, inasmuch as the top three leaders of Fox mysteriously all seem to have sexual allegations pinned against them. These same sources suspect that the origin of these attacks may have stemmed from a political power that is opposite of the conservative beliefs at Fox. Recently, Sean Hannity has been accused of possible sexually related allegations. However, these allegations are over 10 years old and mirror the allegations brought up regarding Bill O'Reilly. So, if in fact there is a decisive political and/or competitor-related assault on Fox that has been launched against the network, then perhaps monies were exchanged, jobs promised, and some wrongdoings forgiven for those who made these allegations. In this type of coup, if you will, and is it possible this is some type of coup over Fox? Well, let's look at the power structure at Fox. CEO founder, to begin with, of Fox News has resigned under suspicion of sexual harassment. Bill O'Reilly and the O'Reilly Factor brought in advertising revenue of approximately $178 million a year, now gone from Fox under the clouds of sexual allegations. Next, Fox News co-president Bill Shine is out at the network again, a casualty in the scandal that seems to plague Fox News. Now, as we mentioned a little bit ago, Sean Hannity and the mysterious sexual harassment allegations that have been brought up from 10 years ago that mirror almost exactly the same circumstances as Bill O'Reilly's. Now, I've been on board with 4 major corporations, both up front and behind the scenes, 2 of which are Fortune 500 corporations. The limited, and I mean limited, reporting of sexual harassment issues is less than 0.001%, all told. So, for one corporation to have 4 employees who also represent the highest caliber of power within that corporate subset, I would be suspect as to the validity of all these allegations, especially those pinned against an ailing Roger Ailes. I believe we will hear even more about this, and don't be surprised if the Russians are behind all of it. Okay, maybe not the Russians. At any rate, I wish to send our condolences to Mrs. Ailes and the Ailes family. Roger Ailes died on Thursday, May 18th. He was 77 years old.
Don't miss even one show. Subscribe to the Spearsy Spin now. Click that subscribe button and be sure to also click that bell next to the subscribe button so you'll be notified when we post new videos.
Hi, I'm former Blue Cam Jansen. Thousands of families have been affected by this historic rain and flooding this week across the state, from the West Plains in Valley Park, Missouri, to my hometown of Eureka. Families need your help. That's why the Blues and the Blues alumni have teamed up with the American Red Cross to raise funds for our neighbors in need. Proceeds from the 50-50 raffle and Blues for Kids silent auction from Game 5 will benefit the American Red Cross flood relief efforts. Volunteers will also be selling commemorative pucks used during pre-game warm-ups and awesome skate koozies to benefit the Red Cross. Your donation can help the American Red Cross provide warm meals, shelter, and hope to those in need. For more information, please visit stlouisblues.com.
Hello, this is Captain Jack Sparrow. See, you've already met this dastardly scoundrel who calls himself Mike Spears. That would mean that you're listening to the Spearsy Spin. Right. By my reckoning, if you give a thumbs up and subscribe, this would make you one of the crew. Savvy?
Well, we move on now to the Turks' attack on American soil. Violence outside the Turkish ambassador's residence in Washington when Turkish bodyguards approached the small group of demonstrators who had gathered nearby to protest the visit of the Turkish president. Supposedly, there were verbal exchanges between the guards and the protesters. Some of the folks on the protesters' side have said that men in suits and in khaki attire began to physically assault members of the protest. One of the protesters claimed that he saw one man grab a woman around the neck and punch her in the face. As he tried to go to help her, he says he was attacked by 4 men. The men then pushed him down and kicked him in the head. He said that he then got up and he was bleeding from the face. Now, footage shot by some of the folks there shows a lot of violence. The attackers beating and kicking the protesters. Many of the demonstrators were left bloodied and battered. Meanwhile, Washington police officers who were on the scene attempted to stop the violence. And now for the spin. Now, a video released Thursday from the Voice of America Turkish service appeared to show the melee. However, there's a different spin on how it all went down. U.S. politicians have called upon the Turkish president to discipline those on his security team involved with the fighting. U.S. Senator John McCain said, "Throw their ambassador the hell out of the United States of America." McCain was appearing on MSNBC's Morning Show with Joe, and he also went on to say, "These are not just average people that did this beating. This is Erdogan's security detail. Someone told them to go and beat up these peaceful demonstrators, and I think it should have repercussions, including identifying these people and bringing charges against them." McCain went even further, saying, "After all, they violated American laws in the United States of America, so you cannot have that happen in the United States of America. An older gentleman, who was one of the protesters, was taken by ambulance to the hospital, where he received stitches on his nose and treated for a head injury. He had lost one tooth and loosened several others. He said that he cannot eat because of the pain in his mouth. John McCain, along with Dianne Feinstein, have sent a strongly worded letter to Mr. Erdogan expressing their grave concern about the protest violence. The Turkish embassy, however, said that the protesters were affiliated with the PKK, which is the Kurdistan Workers' Party, and had began aggressively provoking Turkish American citizens who had peacefully assembled to greet the president. In other words, the spin is that it was all their fault, not the fault of the guards. The House Committee on Foreign Affairs has asked Attorney General Jeff Sessions and Secretary of State Rex Tillerson to bring criminal charges against the perpetrators of the attacks in a letter on Wednesday. So, what will happen next? Well, it's doubtful that the Turks will be arrested, as that would cause concern about our U.S. relations with Turkey. But rest assured, in the next meeting with these same bodyguards, there most likely will be some other peaceful protesters who will even the score. Now, beating the hell out of those who oppose you, well, that's how things are handled in Turkey. Getting the crap kicked out of you the next time you come into the United States, well, that's how we handle things here in America. I guess the Turks forgot that they were on U.S. soil. Let's not let them forget again. What do you think? Should all this have happened? Well, we'd like to know, so visit us at thespearsyspin.blogspot.com and give us your ideas. Remember, there's only one world, including Turkey. We all have to live in it together. Better learn karate. See everyone on Monday.
Thanks for listening to today's show. Tell your friends and neighbors about the Spearsy Spin.